I'm going to show you 3 simple and viral effects that you can use to level up your real estate videos immediately. Let me show you what we're working with and we'll dive straight in. So jumping into Final Cut Pro, here's the timeline for the project. And the first effect that we're gonna cover is the loop effect. How do we loop the end of the video back into the beginning with both the visuals and the audio? How do we loop the song too? So let's cover that first. So I'm gonna actually take the end here of the clip, copy, paste that, and just extend it all the way out. So this is our clip that we use for the loop. We start tilting down from the trees, we level out, and then we push into the front door. And that is the clip. Now, how do we loop this? It's actually pretty simple. Now we're gonna find a place where we're gonna cut this clip. Now I'm gonna cut it, I don't know, maybe cut it here. Now, this part of the clip, this is gonna go at the very beginning of our video, right? And then this kind of came down and then I speed ramped into the rest of the video, but that doesn't really matter too much. So this is gonna be the beginning of our video. This clip is gonna go at the very end of our video. So we would, I don't know, pull that over here. So we have this clip, it goes through, we have the video, yada, yada, yada. And then we get to the end. Now it's gonna start here and it's gonna tilt down. And then this is where we'd end the video. And on social media, and I'm going to show you here in Final Cut Pro how we can loop this, but on social media, this is then going to automatically loop right back to where we started. And it's going to be the exact same place that we're leaving off. So it's this nice seamless loop. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in the final version right here. And now we're back in the beginning. Now, if you want to get your timeline to playback as a loop in Final Cut Pro, you can just hit Command L and you'll actually see right here, Command L, you'll get this little like, I don't know, loop icon around the play button. That's how you know your timeline is on loop. So when it finishes, it'll just play through. So that's also a great way to tell if your loop is super seamless before having to post it or having to export and kind of go through. You can have it loop through in Final Cut Pro. Now here's the tricky part. Looping the visuals, looping the video is easy. What's hard, what's trickier is looping the song, looping the audio. If you want people to stay and watch and not even notice that there's a loop, you need to loop the song. The audio needs to loop through as well because it'll just keep going. And so now we've obviously watched the video loop. Now let's listen to the video loop. We go right back in, it's super seamless. You didn't even know that there was a cut there. So how did I do that? Well, I started with the first segment. I started with this first segment into the drop. So this is what I started with. And then we go in. Now, I then took the same principles that we just used. So I'm gonna copy this first segment, right? This is the one that we want. Right? Obviously I cut the song up a little bit, but let's take this, let's paste it back here, and the same principles apply. So I took this and then I made sure I was set at the start, I extended this back out, then just recut it so I knew where the song starts at the beginning of the video. Now this is the same thing. This is now where what we're going to put at the end of the video. Right? That goes at the end. That's what we have right here. And then it would loop at the start. You have to listen to make sure that it all flows well. You can piece it together and keep it nice and seamless. So I understand that might be a little bit confusing. I know I probably didn't do a really great job of explaining exactly how to do that, but again, listen to how the music's progressing. If that's too confusing, if you can't quite get that, looping the visuals is great, it's easy, and stick with that. Now, the second effect that I was asked about a lot is the half split day to night that I did on this drone shot. So how did I do that? Let's break it down. Now, at its core, this is a day to night transition. Now, I'm not gonna go too much into depth on how to do that because I actually have a full tutorial that you can watch, and I would recommend that you watch on how to do day to night transitions. This is just kind of an elevated step up from that. So we have these two drone shots and they're top down and they lined up really, really well. If we were to look here, right, as you can see through this kind of half split, they lined up pretty close to perfectly, which is exactly what we want. This is like the dream ideal situation. Now, how did we do this? If we were to look at just our main bottom clip, right, we speed ramp out, that's all good. That's just our clip right there. Where the magic comes in is going to be this top night clip. So what I did was I got a graduated mask. So if we were to deactivate that, right, if we were to just play this through, throw a crossfade on, that's just your regular everyday day to night transition. Clean, easy, but I wanted to take this a step up. So I used a graduated mask where I pretty much just feathered out to about halfway through the clip. And to find out exactly where that is, you can go view, show horizon, you get the horizon line, you can kind of just finesse it where the transition kind of lands right on that middle horizon line. So we crossfaded in, but it's only half of the clip that's being shown, right? Because it's a mask. And then from there, all I did was keyframed the amount. If you watch up here in the graduated mask, it's just a keyframe. You can see that drops down real quick and the rest of the clip comes in. So that mask then just fades, the opacity fades out, and that's how we have our clip. So that's how I did this specific half split day to night, crossfade in the clip with the graduated mask, and then keyframe the rest of the mask out. So that's how you do that effect. It's actually really quite simple if you actually know how to do a day to night. Again, shameless plug, watch the tutorial, but you can mess around with this, right? This is like a, I don't know, horizontal half split. You could do a vertical where it's like half the frame, like the right or left side splits first. I've seen Edgar Rodriguez from Studio 910. That man did like a, I don't know what he did, but it was like 4 or 5 split in like one frame. It was crazy. It looked sick. But there's just so many different ways that you can kind of utilize this effect of transitioning halfway through. And I think it's just a great, unique way of doing a day to night. And the final viral or trending effect that I use in this video is this smooth zoom on the drone shot. If we play that through, everybody wants to know how to do the smooth, like pop zoom kind of thing. So this zoom in and out effect is from Ryan Nangle. It is in the smooth, this is called the Smooth Camera Zooms Pro pack. I'll have a link down in the description if you want to pick these up. What's special about these is that obviously in Final Cut Pro, if you want to do any sort of like keyframing scale, you can't smooth out the keyframes. It's linear, so you get that kind of hard start and stop kind of look when you try to keyframe. There's lots of options here. Here I'm going to use ramped 4K, and I use this first one, zoom in and out. So if we're to start from scratch here, if I delete this, bring it back on right here, you can see looks pretty cool. What we can do, we hop over here to the text panel. We can do a few things. So first thing, we have this little circle on our screen. This is where the camera will zoom or punch into. So it's always default set to the middle, but we want obviously the house to pop in and we want that house to be nice front and center. So I'm gonna drag the circle maybe to about here. That's a little off. Might bring that onto center line. Maybe a little bit more this way. There you go. So it punches in punches out. That's really cool because you can customize exactly where you want that zoom to happen. We can also adjust how much zoom we want. Like we could really just punch the heck out of this. This one defaults at about 20. I think that's actually pretty good. And then it pops out. If you want to adjust like where it zooms, like we could extend this. The next shot would be kind of thing. You could shorten it up. So it's a lot quicker. The reason I kind of had it where it was is because it's cohesive with the drone movement. So we slow down and punch in at the same time. And then we're kind of zooming out as we speed up simultaneously. So it feels cohesive. If you want to pick up any of the products or plugins that I use or mention in this video, there's going to be links in the description. If you found this video valuable, I think you're really going to like this one right here. With that all said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.